What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about a Jets rumor that was being circulated. Rich Cimini shared something that was very interesting for the New York Jets that's both trade and NFL draft related. Before we start, this is not the approach that I would take for the New York Jets. I just want to make that very clear. So don't shoot the messenger. I just kind of want to talk through this with you guys about what Rich Cimini lays out and whether or not it would be a good thing for the New York Jets. So Rich Cimini said, watch for Georgia's Jalon Walker and brace for the possibility of the Jets trading Quincy Williams for draft capital. All right, let's start with the Quincy Williams trade because don't jump me, but that's not that crazy. And let me explain why. I think Quincy Williams is a good football player. I don't want that to be misconstrued. Quincy Williams is a good football player. And he is likely still going to be very good for the Jets in 2025. Here's the issue. The Jets just paid Jamien Sherwood a 3-year contract extension. Quincy Williams is in the final year of his contract that is really cheap, mind you. The Jets got him for a 3-year, $18 million deal, and he'll be playing this year as a 29-year-old. He turns 29 in August. So my question to you would be, would the New York Jets be looking to pay a 30-year-old linebacker a big contract extension after just signing Jamien Sherwood this offseason at the same position? My gut tells me no. So you could do one of two things. You could either, one, trade him, which Rich Cimini talks about. If you want to do that, you could likely trade him this year and get decent return. I don't think you're going to get a first or second round pick for him. I'm not saying that he isn't a good football player, but we've seen the market. You're likely looking at probably a mid-round pick in return for Quincy Williams. Or you let him play out this year with the New York Jets. He walks in free agency. Someone signs him to a big contract. And maybe you get a comp pick for the following year. The Jets seem to put an emphasis on the comp pick formula this offseason. They are on track to get a 4th-round pick for losing Hassan Reddick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm thinking maybe that's what the Jets will do, a repeat of what they just did this past offseason, where they let, some guys walk in free agency and they try to play the comp pick formula. Again, I just don't want to completely gloss over the idea of a Quincy Williams trade. We actually talked about it on this morning's Just Jets. I don't that's not what I'm advocating for and saying, yes, you have to trade Quincy Williams. It's an absolute, it's a travesty if they don't. I just think, there's natural turnover with regime changes. The Jets made their choice by signing Jamien Sherwood to a contract extension. I personally find it hard to believe that they are now next offseason going to invest big money in Quincy Williams. Who knows? Maybe they redo his contract and tack on like an additional year or two on the deal, and then they have him signed at 30 and 31. But I don't see the Jets playing this year out, letting it get to free agency, and then trying to sign him at that point to another 3-year deal. That would be surprising to me. As for the Jalon Walker side of this, so interesting prospect. He's 6'1", 243, which isn't really huge, right? 6'1's actually a little undersized for the position, and he's a little light at 243 pounds, but wingspan, 90th percentile. He has 4.5 speed, which is 94th percentile, so he is going to beat you with his speed. And in college, if you look at the numbers, he pretty much split time just about evenly with playing on the defensive line and linebacker. So think of him as a tweener hybrid type who you can play at linebacker. You can maybe line up and play on the edge. I think in a way, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as this guy at the next level, but this kind of reminds me of Micah Parsons. And the reason being, at Penn State, he played mostly linebacker, but in the NFL, gets drafted by the Cowboys, converts to an edge rusher, and is one of the best edge rushers in football. Now, again, that is very lofty expectations to compare Jalon Walker to Micah Parsons. If he hits at that level, that would be an extreme home run. And even Micah Parsons played more linebacker than he did edge, significantly more linebacker than he did edge. Walker is pretty much, like I said, you saw the numbers, was an even split. I think if you are drafting him, you're using him in that similar way. Maybe some personnel he's out there as a linebacker, others he's lining up on the edge and kind of just roaming around the defense, wreaking havoc, so to speak. His average prospect rank is 18th overall, so probably more of a middle first round talent than a top 7 pick, in my own personal opinion. He's definitely worthy of a first round selection and likely go, I would say, in the top 20 is a very safe bet. Maybe closer to 15, like right in the middle. I just don't really love the process of trading away Quincy Williams and then using a first round pick on essentially a guy you want to replace him with as a linebacker edge hybrid. Even if you trade Quincy Williams, I'd still much rather go the route of trying to target a Membu, a Warren, a Mason Graham, a Tet McMillan. I don't think Tet McMillan is someone on the Jets site. Maybe I'm wrong. I like Tet, and I would be in on Tet McMillan for the Jets. But right now, it feels like the most likely selections for the Jets, which could change in the next few weeks here before the NFL draft, are either Armand Membu or Tyler Warren. Those seem like the two most likely guys. And even if they did trade Quincy Williams, I would be looking to use the first round pick on one of the guys that I mentioned there. The four names that I mentioned are the guys that I prefer the most for the Jets at pick 7. If they were to trade him and then go like, I don't know, and pretty much anything else, Jalon Walker, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green, someone like that, that doesn't really move me. It doesn't. If you're trading him and using a mid-round pick or the mid-round pick that you acquire to get a linebacker, all right, maybe it's a little bit different, but I don't think it should drastically change the Jets' plans to the point where, okay, we're going to trade Quincy Williams and then we're going to use our first-round pick to replace him. That feels like just creating a hole and then filling it like right away with the first, and that's not the process that I would take. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this is something that's likely to happen? Let me know in the comments how you would feel about this happening. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.